Yeah.
So I'll start the recording. So, I mean, I think the main thing that we need to take away from this game is we need to go back to basics, which is something that
Okay.
happens even with like pro players. It's sometimes easy to forget the basics. So again, to go over the itemizational decisions, the only real time you want a Doran's Blade is if you're going to be fighting. If you're into like melees that you get a lot of that. Let's say you're against like Ezreal, Alistair, you can 1v2 that lane really comfortable. Which I've actually seen quite a lot of lately. So in that
I mean,
situation,
if
you go
it's
Doran's
like
Blade.
Alistair, like engage support, like hell yeah, I'm going Dorn. It's Draven, that kind of thing.
No, Draven you wouldn't. Draven's really bad too because you're not going to be able to fight him. So you have to know
No,
who
I'm
you
not
can
trying to
fight.
fight him.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep the extra health so I don't
No,
just
no, no.
get
So
one
Doran's Blade
tapped.
is the worst for that. You don't go Doran's Blade in a defensive matchup. Doran's Blade is an aggressive item. Like the a massive amount of value comes from the healing that it provides. So you never really want to just randomly go into it. Like if you aren't gonna fight, then you want to go longsword and three pots. It's gonna give you the sustain that you need to get through the lane, and also it means you get to your mythic sooner because you've gone for an item that actually builds into something rather than an item that you had to sell later. Anyway,
So you want me to so any lane that I'm afraid of getting all in, I go longsword three pots.
so don't think of it as all in. Think of it as can you fight that lane? If the answer is
No.
yes, then you go Doran's blade. If the answer is no, then you go longsword three pots. Those are the two major decision makers that you need to be thinking of early. Also, here, don't be afraid to just rocket those first three. I mean, I think fake leash is kind of bad anyway, but like just rocket the first three, get them taken away. Because we use a rocket for them anyway, and it's just a bit sloppy, you know. Because it's like we could have rocketed, got all three here. Instead, we auto with
Are
a
you trying to
minigun.
stream by the way? Because I don't see it.
I am very sorry if wait no, it's on.
Or is it?
Huh?
Okay, one sec. Hold on.
Do you see it?
Okay. I see it. Now I see it.
Okay,
I don't know why.
it's weird. So it's because you were sharing yours before. You have to click on the profile pictures and then you can see it again. So here, what I'm saying is we're not. It seems like we're not really comfortable on Jinx anymore, and I think one of the major things for this is I do think it's a bit of mental slipping because
Okay.
we already got to what nearly masters, like what was it, 80 LP D1.
Six six LP away from promos.
Oh well, so we already got there, so we know that we can get there. But the issue is now because we're constantly, even in this game towards the end of it, it was a bit like, oh, okay, well, Vega runs him down, whatever. Like, it's you don't want to get into the habit of where like you're looking at anything other than yourself. In regards to the runes here, so again, like we previously mentioned, you could have actually gone resolve sector here, overgrowth, unconditioning would be nice, or you could just go boots and biscuit. Actually, no, biscuit's too aggressive. You go like boots and cosmic insight as well, which is nice here. But because you're into an Aphelios and a Milio, who are double range, and Aphelios has a lot more range than you, it means that you're never really going to stay above the threshold to keep absolute focus going. And even though Gathering Storm is great, it still gives you nothing in the first 10 minutes. So it's like you're relying on this absolute focus to carry you to at least 10 minutes to get value out of your second rune. Whereas in a game like
Okay.
this, like where we're not safe to comfortably say that we can get to 10 minutes in this matchup, like fine. But either way,
What was this Rockets comment about, by the way? Since
so
I wasn't
here,
sharing.
like we're not comfortable with even how we're approaching the first wave, right? Like here, just
Yeah,
use a
because I don't have a
rocket, kill all
support.
three. It's
Because
okay.
I don't have a support.
You don't need a spot. Look at here, plenty of time, right?
Okay.
Rocket all
Yeah,
three.
usually okay. Yeah, usually I would rocket all three. It's just the way they switched because minions died. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just
Yeah,
take all.
so it's because we waited. We waited on actually using rockets. Like just use it straight away. As soon as your rocket will kill all three melees, just do it because they're gonna push that back anyway, no matter what. So yeah, just stops the one auto there, then use mana for rocket anyway, and kind of becomes a bit
Okay.
pointless.
Here's another thing I guess I'll throw up. I don't know mathematical values for League.
Okay.
Like, what did you say? Additional 20 AD automatically kills back minions?
Yeah. So when you're on the
You know
tower,
that.
if you've got 20 or more bonus AD, it's just one tower shot and then one auto attack. So as soon as you've got double longsword or pickaxe, you don't need to layer the casters on the tower anymore. So here, even stuff like this, right? So like here, they're both level 1. We've just ticked level 2. Nunu's on his way. So even our positioning right here, like see this click up here? We should never be
Hmm.
clicking up here. We should be clicking aggressively. So our positioning should be more towards up this side now. So that say they walk up and try a trade, Nunu comes around the back like this. So we want to be up here, ready to instantly go. So if I mean,
Isn't that showing a gank too early?
it shows slightly, but this is diamond. So they're not even going to catch on. Like, I would bet money that they wouldn't. Like, even there, for example, like the Milio Q, we dodge it. Like, then we just want to
Yeah.
straight run at them.
So yeah. So pause it right when Melio throws Q, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So if I straight run at him now, uh I guess my thing is like if I straight run at him now, like he knows he's weak, so he's instant retreat to turret, and then that's not, then it's like
But Aphelios is already up here. We've got Nunu in position already. Nunu's already ready to
okay,
gank. So
okay,
right here, as soon as we dodge this Q, they have no CC that can stop us from running them down. So you instantly pop ghost and you instantly run at them. You have to make those decisions, like snap decisions. Like jungler ganking level 2 doesn't happen all that often. Depends how good the jungler is. But yeah, like here, it's see, like no use of ghost. Even here, like there was even a time where we're running down right, and so right here we've missed it. Look at Aphelios. Aphelios should always be the main target. So even there, like look at how overextended he is. Like this is really grief. So you instantly just turn on Aphelios. Doesn't matter his guns, doesn't matter anything like that. Just turn on him, do damage to him. Because see here, we've got rockets and an auto available, but we're not using it on anybody because we're tunnel focused on the Milio. And then because of that,
mhm.
we're not getting lethal tempo procs, and we're not getting that attack speed steroid. And then it was only here, like Aphelios griefing his flash, that we managed to actually get it. But we got it. So again, we did play it wrong, but we got it. So it's not the end of the world. Is there a world we could have maybe killed them both? Potentially, maybe.
Possibly depends on how
Yeah.
if Melio greases his flash.
But those are unknown variables. So again, here, like if Melios tries to crash this, like you're completely fine. You just come and break it anyway. So it's fine. Like we don't have to walk up this far. I'm just reset. So again, coal only gives 180 gold as a kind of profit at the end. So when it's like 3 minutes, completely fine. If you're getting to level 4, level 5, then it's not worth it anymore.
Okay.
But I never recommend starting it as an initial item because if you do that, you're accepting that you're not going to do anything within the lane. You're basically giving over a free lane, which in competitive can be viable and it can be fine based on what comp and you're planning to do with your team. But in solo queue,
Mhm.
you cannot do that.
Okay.
Like your early game is the part of the game where you need to get ahead or stay even. So like even with here, right? So he's hard pushing this wave in. Like we're way too far up. So look at our W range there. So do you see the full length of this W?
Yeah.
It's all the way back here. Which means if you want to be singling off minions, you want to get as far back as possible to use your W to just get a minion or two here or there. Like it's how
Okay.
you want to play it. Because like right here, we're directly in line to him. And again, he's spacing and playing aggressive. And this full wave is coming into us. So we don't even want to lose a single HP from this wave. We just want to sit a tower, get anything we can with our W, and then that's all we really look for. So again, this comes in, farm it on the tower, good stuff. Now, obviously, he's reset, but we want to look to get a slow push.
So why do we slow push this here?
Because the amount of time it's going to take him to get back anyway isn't that substantial. Plus, we want to create a window opening for us to do something. Especially considering the dragon is available right now. Like, sure, we can back, it's not too bad, but we don't really want to. Like, our main goal looking at
Back on a
this.
slow push like this, it's an easy freeze.
But no, how do they freeze? Uh,
If I just back in place, it's an easy freeze.
oh, yes, of course. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, if you were to reset here, then yeah, you're doomed. So you have to just stay. You're getting prio for the dragon anyway. You're stacking up a nice wave. I think you do get the dragon off this slow push as well. So now you're going to be playing with better junglers. They will be able to recognize things like this. So they'll be able to go, oh, bot lane has a really lovely slow push here. This is a massive opportunity for us to go to dragon. So as soon as you get this wave here, you just instantly nuke it. So what you want to do is you want to be putting autos into these until the casters are spread out. As soon as they are into rocket the casters, get it killed. Because the way you have to view the minions is these are the tanks, these are the AD carries. If you kill the AD carries off, yeah.
What point do I like? So if this is like me trying to slow push a wave solo,
Okay.
I would just let this wave like stack.
No,
Does that make sense?
So at this point of the
Like,
game,
what point do I say, okay, obliterate the wave and make
okay.
your window?
So everything in your bot lane is about reinforcements. So your minions will be reinforced by the other, and obviously that comes down to the basics, right? Of
Yep.
you know, where they reinforce, like if they reinforce here or here,
Yep.
stuff like that.
Yep.
So you're constantly looking for those reinforcements. So if we look at the snapshot of this wave, we've got another wave coming here, which is a cannon as well, which means they've got a cannon wave coming in too. This wave is nicely stacked, but then the next wave, so these waves only touch at 32 seconds, but they respawn from the Nexus at every 30. So it means that as soon as the minions are touching, you've got another one coming out. So you want to use that timing to, okay, so now it's a decent wave. Now you want to be looking to go elsewhere and do something else. Because you want to basically clear this off as soon as possible so that as many of these minions as possible get shoved into him. And then that gives you an opening for the dragon. I mean, mid is not really viable, but dragon is up. So as soon as those reinforcements...
Or back if he refuses to do dragon.
Yeah, of course. But so what you're basically looking for is as soon as these reinforcements are reinforcing the pre-existing wave, and there's no minions in the lane, which obviously you can see there's none, that basically is an indicator that you want to get that crashed and use that prio.
Okay. I think that answers my question.
Yeah. So it's just as soon as this reinforcement comes up, then you nuke it. Because then he's spending tons of time. Because what he can do here is he can potentially throw a Q out here or there and maybe trim some of these minions off. Even the way we are positioning around this, though, to be honest, is already kind of bad. Because right now we have a huge wave. If he even dares to fight us, then he's going to get absolutely ruined by it. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. From Jinx and a massive wave.
Yeah, so step up. Like, make sure that you force him away from the wave. So even if, say, this one dies or this one dies, he doesn't get XP for it. So it's a constant battle for resources. And right now we're not really fighting to protect our resources. We're just trying to gain theirs, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And now you're like struggling to push it in because we're not using rockets, bum. Now the wave is thinner than what it should have been. So here, you only need your W. So unless you're needed for the dragon, all you really want to do is get a W on it so that you get an assist for your legend stacks. That's all you're really looking for. So just walk up, W it, and then run the Milio down. Like, do damage to him. So right here, see? Like, he walks up so many illegal ways.
Go back a little.
Yep.
Just a touch.
Okay, here.
I'm pretty sure I saw a Jarvan vision plant like a second after he pinks or something.
I mean, Jarvan is in bot side, but
he's like near Raptors right now, I think, because I think I see a vision.
I think he's on Krugs. He's on Krugs at the minute. There we go. Actually, see it.
Nope. That one right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you see how much time Milio had to completely grief the game? Like right here, like why are we allowing him to do this? We should be looking to just traps here, and then just absolutely spray him down. Just go nuts. Like he's level 4, you're level 5, you've got plenty of damage. He's a support. He has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just shy of 600 HP right now.
Hmm.
And I mean, you have a ton of AD. So just at this point, just do damage to him. We're allowing things to happen within the game that should never really happen. Like, and then he flashes, great. Okay, fine. So now you need to be repositioning. So when you're playing AD, you're always looking to position first, damage second.
Yep.
So right here, like, we know this cog is pushed into tower, right? So we know Veigar's going to be coming this way. So we need to be down here, positioning here so that we can escape. So think about your escape route and then do damage. Because right here, this ends up a bit of a mess. Like, we walk into range, we use traps super, super late, and I think, obviously, while the game was ongoing, obviously, it's kind of hard, me feeding you information as it's going. But here, our traps are super, super late. Like, we know Javan is in the area, and we know that this Milio is just flash. So, again, you can put your E in this entrance because of the Aphelios. So what do you think is another really big issue that's, well, I hope is apparent right now, that we're also doing that's a really big no-no in terms of fundamentals?
The first thing I can think of is it was kind of macro.
Okay, so micro-based. This entire sequence, you get really, really screwed from it. Okay. So any guesses?
No.
Okay. So right now, what can you see? Do you need to see? Do you need to? Yeah. So you've got way too much of a heavy thumb, and this is significantly worse than what it was in our previous coaching session. So we need to really, really sort that, because right here we see nothing, and like this is a perfect opportunity. Pop Ghost, put E, again here in this entrance. Pop Ghost, do a ton of damage to him. He dies super fast here. He's completely griefing. So use our CC to set up for the Nunu snowball, and then if Javan EQs, doesn't matter, traps stop him. So one of the reasons why we didn't punish this is I think we're playing so unbelievably scared at the moment, like of everything, which again, like you've just dropped from the peak and you're trying to get back there. I know it can be nerve-wracking, but you have to kind of snap yourself out of it and be like, you are a damage dealer. You need to be dealing damage. So like right here, like again, Javan comes in, and I mean the fight's already a bit kind of doomed because of previous issues, but yeah, like for the majority, like the reason this went bad is because we just refused to pull the trigger. Now, playing defensively and just playing to punish is completely fine up until like diamond, maybe high diamond, but if you want to get that master tier, you need to be recognizing when they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing and how you can punish that. Like, you have to start making them fall into kind of positions where they can be punished now. So see this one tower, one hit. One tower, one hit. That was just from the 2 longswords.
That call, okay.
Like, the call doesn't actually matter.
AD.
Yeah. This is why people, in my opinion, make the big mistake of going Noon Quiver, because they think they need the extra damage, whereas they don't. They get more damage from pickaxe and longswords. Okay.
Would Twitch be an exception to that?
No, not really. He'll still one-shot the casters after on double longsword. Like, you just need that 20 AD boost. Like, I mean, it's not even like a super important thing to remember. It's just it'll just become muscle memory within like a few games. Okay, so we are somewhat happy here, to be honest. Like, we're just farming up.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we're fine with just farming. Again, another slow push because, again, you need safety. Now, here, Aphelios is in the jungle.
So, yeah.
So this was a point that you could have had pushed it. Well, why do you think that is?
because he's going to be busy chasing Nunu and make him make a choice.
Yeah, one thing. Yeah, I mean he will lose his cannon for it. And also, where do you think you are of most value on the map at the moment?
Farming
Yeah, but what
bot
else is
lane.
on the map that you can help with?
I don't think I can help that Nunu.
No, not Nunu. What else is on the map of value?
Dragon's down. Herald is up.
Yeah, exactly. So Herald is up. So if we get this cannon crashed in, we can actually reset and then walk towards Herald.
Okay.
Like Cogmo's got prio, Yorick's just coming off reset, so he's gonna get prio. So you'll have 2 prio lanes, and then again, yeah, you just crash it, and then again here, even here, just reset, get your items, and then just go to Herald. Like Aphelios might get some plates of it, sure, but you also benefit very much so from an enhanced amount of gold. Because like here as well, like right, like the amount of time that we're wasting, it's like right here, just recall instantly. Like if he wants to freeze, whatever. Like one of the things that you have to stop doing is you have to stop putting players in your rank on a pedestal, and saying, "Oh, this guy is Diamond 1. He's gonna know exactly what he's doing." Because right now you're in the second stage of the game. You're in the kind of path to pro level of the game, right? Where
Mm.
if I mean I've used this analogy before, but you
The
have
basic fundamentals are solid, but
you
not
have
nearly enough
yeah.
to have great understanding.
I mean you have LOL 1, which is what Iron 4 to
Flat
Diamond
four,
3, I'd say.
even more. Yeah.
So this is where like if you are a casual gamer, but you're a good gamer, you can get to diamond. Otherwise, you have to actually start like working on these higher ends. But you don't have to put a massive amount of learning into getting to diamond, right? Like it's just fundamentals. Like punish them for making mistakes. Bum bum bum. LOL 2. This is literally like D2 all the way until rank 1. So here, it's like now you are contesting potential pro players on Smurf accounts. You're contesting just good solo queue players that are playing on Smurfs for whatever reason, duo, whatever. You're contesting people that are coming up on a fresh account. You're all of these people you're gonna have to play against. So it's like now you have to be focused on just trying to perfect your gameplay. Like that's the only thing you need to focus on is perfecting your gameplay as much as you can, and then just let the ranks come in. Like you have to stop worrying about if you win or lose because like this game it was a loss, but the amount of mistakes we made, it should have been a loss. Like that you kind of have to be harsh on yourself a little bit,
Mhm.
and kind of push yourself that way. Because like right here, for example, I think I maybe said to recall. I can't remember.
So you think so? Just so in the so so I would say I forget exactly what lane what state Aphelios is in, but assuming I think a freeze is the correct call for Aphelios if I were just sitting back here, correct?
Okay.
So the correct call is to back, spend gold. I have all 3 components of Kraken, but not Kraken yet.
Mhm.
And because of 2 top lane prios, I path towards Herald.
Yep.
Possibly take Herald, although I don't know how on board Nunu is with idea. Take Herald with just me, I guess, if Nunu won't help,
I
and
mean,
just
you
ping
can,
him.
yeah. I mean, it's not the
And
end of the
then
world, but I mean, you
and
should have Braum with
then
you as well. Like,
yeah, and then from that point, then either I'm guessing take Herald because Braun probably wants his trinket, and then use it to my advantage, or if I
yeah, of
find a good
course.
way.
Or I mean, like if
Okay.
if you
And that's the sack slash risk of possibly fighting Herald.
yeah, but so you've got to think about everything in this game, right? This wave, what
Hmm.
happens if he freezes us? If you recall here and he freezes us, what happens?
I lose 2 waves. Let's say.
Okay,
Is that
so
where you're going with this?
let's say we do as I said, instant recall, start
Mm-hmm.
walking towards Herald. At what point is he gonna know that you're not coming back to this lane?
Either Jungle's gonna spot me slash wards, or Harold's gonna die,
Yeah, you're
or
gonna
he's
be.
an idiot.
Yeah, you're gonna be there way before. Like, so this is you know what tempo refers to, right?
Yep.
So right
Yep.
now, the amount of tempo that you have, due to the fact that
Is
you
enormous.
add you a recall timer, there's a cannon here, there's another reinforcement wave coming in. This one will also he cleans this. This reinforcement wave will also come to here, and then what? He slow pushes into your tower or fast pushes. If he slow pushes it, then you can reset and get here fairly good time. If he
Mm-hmm.
fast pushes, sure you lose a wave or so, but he's still in bot lane. You're not. You're gone.
Prob- Uh, yeah, I think he would. Yeah, okay. He takes 2 plates then, and then I trade with Harold.
I mean, maybe he might even take 2 plates. Like his perfect scenario is that he gets 1 or 2 plates. Another thing to remember as well. This is the cannon wave, which means he's not getting another cannon for another 3 waves.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be able to push that hard purely because he doesn't have a cannon available to him. So he's not going to do.
He can't.
I mean, he
Pretty sure.
can.
I think he's on Infernum. Correct me if I'm wrong. It'd be hard to find for sure, but
So his
I
guns
think
don't
he's
matter.
on Infernum, and he doesn't have any cannons against him.
So it's more about how much he can get on your tower. Like, remember, these
I
cannons
see.
take 7 tower shots. 7
I see.
for a cannon.
Okay, I see. I see where you're going with
Yeah.
that. The
So
wave doesn't last nearly as long
yeah,
at turret.
which means he probably gets 1 plate. And if you actually do the reset nice, if you get Herald in the ideal situation, you recall, you get there in time. Like, again, it's very hard for us to continue down this branch because we didn't select it, right? So that's
Yes.
what should have happened, but variables that happen around that.
I'm trying to figure out why it's a good play and like really analyze it, because I feel like if I don't
Okay,
like
that's fine.
thoroughly try and figure it out, I'm gonna like dismiss it in my mind, and I
Yeah,
don't want
okay.
to do that.
So again, you're just looking to use your tempo to do something on the map. Remember, kills and tempo are all created so that you can get an advantage. If that advantage is you walk up and get Herald, I mean, Nunu's pathing up there as well. Like, Javan has just died up there to the
Mhm.
Yorick. So imagine if we'd have instantly reset. So let's say we reset here, right? 9:24,
Mhm.
6,
I'm at
7,
Herald at
8,
I'm at Herald
9.
at about
So
10:05.
you're in base now. And then yeah, you're walking to Herald now. Bum, 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 bum. You're here. You're here. You're about here now.
I
Like,
think that's a little fast. I don't have
maybe a
boots.
tad, but I mean, you'd be around about this area roughly. So
Yeah.
let's say you're there now. Like, he still hasn't pushed his bot wave in, and we're also around top lane for this Javan fight. This Javan
Mhm.
dive even. Nunu's also
Or
pathing
walk.
towards
Yeah.
Herald. So Nunu's also on his way there too. So look how perfect this timing is.
Okay.
So again, the three R's, which I probably haven't said with you in a long time. These are usually
I've heard of it,
fundamental.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a
You
while.
want to take a guess?
No.
Okay. So roam, reset, or rotate. Like, in lower elos, these ones are the main applicable ones. When you're pushing for masters, this one has to be part of your arsenal now. The
Okay.
understanding of when to rotate is incredibly important, because you will get some
Mhm.
like games, like let's say for example you play into a Vayne Lulu, you are not
Mhm.
winning in any single fight at level 6. It's probably the best level
Yeah.
6 in the game. So
Yeah.
again, you're looking to rotate. You're going elsewhere to farm safely without dying.
I have noticed I've done that one where like, so one thing you say I play very carefully about, like
Yeah,
I am paranoid about, pause this here because we want to talk about that too.
yeah, yeah.
I'm paranoid about like hitting turret. I'm really paranoid about it. Um like if there's a chance I could have a jungler there, probably not hitting it
Okay.
just because I've died so many times from being like, oh, I can auto turret here, and then now there's two people diving my ass. But oh sorry, G-rated YouTube.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I don't care.
But um, but so what I'll do instead is, and I've noticed this a lot, is I will go down in plates versus my laner a lot because I want tempo for lane. I'll shove a wave and back immediately, or I'll shove a wave and I'll just like hover in the river or something like that, right? Like if there's a play that's happening mid, I'll be there soon. But then, like I'm assuming I'm disappeared from the map for at least a little bit.
Okay. So the issue here is that we have just completely forgot our limits. We've completely forgot what Jinx can do and how you can push her. So, like, I mean, we'll cover this when it comes up because later game team fights, huge too. So right here, this was... So why are we running here? Let's break this down. So what was the danger here? Why did we choose to run instead of staying under the tower?
Aphelios can repeatedly drop turret aggro while hitting me from outside turret.
Okay. So, okay, let's just play it out. Let's just see what happened, and then we'll go over what should have happened. Okay. This is what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, imagine, that it's only Aphelios and Emilio here. Because remember, J4's dead. So they're the only people that can be here, because we see Veigar as well. So first up, this dive is never going to work for them if we play it right. The second thing, we have a very thin wave crashing into our tower. So, like, I mean, he does have a cannon. But if you kill all the casters off here, then there's just the cannon to go. So here, this is where you want to be staying towards this bottom area where you're safe. If he wants to path up like this, fine. You just clear the waves away. He can't do anything. The issue is because we run all the way up here, we're no longer in the safety of our tower. Like now we're in this middle area where they can kill us, instead of being in this safe area where they cannot. I mean, if we really mess up, then kill us, but again, this is a dive that just shouldn't work. And here as well, even in this situation, like, where's the ghost? Like, just use it. Like, if Ghost can save you from taking one extra auto attack, then it's worth it. Like, we're taking Ghost in the vast majority of our games, but we're not actually using it for its intended purpose. Another big mistake that you also keep making is you're constantly in your minigun. Like, no. You want to be constantly in your rockets. So this not as much, but there is moments in later team fights where we're walking into team fights in minigun range. Now the reason why this is really bad is, let's say this is Jinx now, and your minigun goes to here. Great, let's walk into range. They're here. Let's walk into range with a minigun. Why? We could still be back here instead of now here, and just use rockets instead and fill this range. So use your rockets while they are far away, and if they run you down, then you swap to your minigun while they're in minigun range, unless there's multiple, obviously. But like, you always want to be approaching absolutely everything with your rockets on, like no exceptions.
Okay.
So they get a shutdown here, which is nice. Again, they go on dragon. So this is why I said do not hard push it in, because they were on dragon. We knew they were on dragon, or I mean, I did. Maybe I didn't communicate that. But so right here,
I mean I figured out as soon as they finished dragging. Like,
okay.
okay,
So
like I
my
knew
bad.
they were somewhere in river off map. Like
Okay.
I had a pretty good idea that they weren't back.
Okay, so that's somewhat my bad. Well, I knew they were on dragon. I should have mentioned that. So right here, like this click, good. Keep it going. Stick to this wall. Like, you know they're coming. We have vision of them. We actually see all of them right now. But we don't. We keep hitting these minions. If we lose minions, we lose minions. Just try and keep the XP. And then here, obviously, they do jump on us. J4 uses ult. We have to flash it. I mean, it was a waste of flash. We didn't need to, obviously, but so again, now this is fine to run away. So even here, see? So this is perfect example. So you know Milio's here, okay? Straight to rockets, straight to rockets, and just start hitting him. He's got Brawn passive on him. Just start hitting him.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to go in yet.
Why not though? How is Jarvan getting on you here? So we actually in this scenario we
placed, I guess I don't know, but like
we placed traps well.
I don't account for champion abilities for some reason.
Okay, so we have to.
I mean, that's or like especially ally.
Okay, so that's a big one.
Braum has everything.
Yeah.
Braum has everything, right? Like Jarvan ulted, I flashed it. I should know that. For some reason, I think Jarvan has ult, number one. Number two, I completely forget about the fact Braum can peel me.
No, so J4
he is gone, I have no sums.
No, J4 doesn't actually have ult right now.
I know, but like in my brain, I'm thinking J4 has ult, J4 has ult, and then TP, and it's like, okay, even if J4 ults here, it's fine because I have a teleport. So now it's okay.
So one of the
things.
Does
that make sense?
I mean, I get where you're going. The thing is, though, like you have to understand the cooldowns of really big important abilities that can do damage to you. Like, do you even know the cooldown of J4's ult?
No.
Exactly. So as an ADC, those are the kind of cooldowns you need to know. So Jarvan's ult is on 120-second cooldown. So the fact that we flashed it, and our flash is still 262, use your summoners as an indicator of if something is up. So like we've flashed within 40 seconds, and his like I'd say 99 out of 100 times an ultimate ability will always be like way higher. Like you're looking, when I was learning these, I just presumed that every single ultimate that is like a big ultimate is 100 seconds, and then just go from there. Like, just be like, okay, it's happened within a minute, which means definitely doesn't have it. Keep going. So right here, for example, this is actually a perfect example of what I was saying earlier. So you actually use your traps really well here. You get J4 locked down, you know he's there, is whatever. So right here, you should be in rockets, firing at the Milio as you're running. So auto, space, auto, space. Right now, you've got maybe like 5-6 autos in this time that you haven't used. So your autos are just as much of a cooldown on AD as a Syndra Q, stuff like that. So here, this is fine, see? And look, plenty of peel. And now we get to run them down. Again, ult ready. So just know your W range. And then again, we get the ult. And again, just like, that's fine. We get Vega's cage. Like, the click that we made there was a little bit as playing too safe. So we clicked like back here. So like that. Like, we didn't really need to do that. Especially if we, like, we weren't timing his flash here. So we didn't actually know. But again, every time you get that first kill on Jinx, you need to instantly be thinking, where's the next one? Where's the next one? Bam, bam, bam. So here you get this pushed out. This is completely fine. Like, I mean, it's very awkward that J4 just comes bot for you here.
Like, I can probably leave that lane B, no?
I mean, it's a little
like that's bit... what I feel like that's one. It's slightly shaded to me, right? I mean, but I feel like rough. It's so close that you could just coin flip it.
I mean,
flip which way it shoves.
He could come and like just hold this wave, and then you get massive slow push into you, and then you get dove. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but we did get this.
That's the thing, though. I don't believe they dive me.
We don't know that.
Like even we just saw them try and dive, and sure, I had teleport help, but I like half the time I don't believe like they're good enough to dive. I just don't.
But you can't use that assumption. That's
yeah.
That's you're saying something as fact without evidence to like back it up. So we just can't say that. Like a lot of the things that we're saying in this game you could have done instead, like we can't just instantly see what the value would have been. That's why we have to have this conversation and go, this is what the value would have been, potentially, bum bum bum. This is just a better play based on variance. Again, you're always looking at variables. So how many variables exist at each point of the game? That's why early game is so important, because the amount of variables in your early laning phase are way lower, like way lower. So again, here sort of as well, like, so when we're playing Jinx, if we're in these situations, you want to get the cannon and you want to dance around your traps. So you want to basically place your traps like here, like on you,
Mhm.
and then dance around them. If you try to EQ, you get snapped, and then you go down here in space, making sure that these minions are fully hitting him at the time. Because what we do is we end up kind of running up, which again was just kind of odd. There was no real reason. We didn't dance around our traps, and he managed to just insta-kill us, and then he froze a wave. So, I mean, he was going to look to freeze a wave anyway. I mean, we could have maybe got some damage out of him. Again, this is a mistake. You write off, you go, okay, it's whatever. No big deal. Like, the Aphelios just crashed
Is
away
there a
back
better
in.
play?
Um,
Like, I don't know if there's a better play.
no, I mean, this is just a bit rough. Ideally, what would have happened here is if Braum didn't die, then he'd come down and help you, or the Yorick could, or the Kog'Maw maybe. Like Nunu's holding top. Yorick in theory should have just come and helped you with this wave, but
Red's up, so I guess red's up, and we know blue's down. So I guess we have to assume Jarvan's coming bot anyway.
yeah. But I didn't think he'd come straight away. It's fine. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I didn't think so either. Like he completely
yeah,
like skipped everything.
yeah. So again, so this wave isn't crashed; it's reset, which means Vega doesn't really lose that much. But again, you partly that you're centering your camera on yourself too much, but also like we need to basically make sure that no matter what we do, we get in a position where we're behind our front line. So here, like running through this area is never gonna work out. But if you went the other way, you would have been there to actually get the Bronstone on the Jarvan, and you would have maybe been able to clean this entire fight.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this was just kind of spacing. We weren't really taking into consideration what could happen. We were just going for it, hoping what's the best that can happen for us. So when you're playing ADC, like let's say you're playing like a Jarvan jungle, you're thinking what's the best thing that we can get for us. When you're playing a Jinx, you're looking more to what is the best I can get while staying safe. Like you have to have
Mm-hmm.
that extra kind of safety factor.
So yes, that was while we're in this part of the game, that was my reasoning for going mid here as well. Actually,
Uh,
was because you wanted me to go bot here. You wanted me to go bot here. Like
yeah.
Cog went to catch wave, and I was like, I guess I'll go mid if he's going to go bot. So I don't want to share CS and XP. Like that's the worst thing that Jinx can do.
Yeah,
Like,
I
at this
mean,
point in the
it's
game.
not too bad clearing this. Nunu's top side anyway.
So that's anyway. That was my thought process for this.
But,
It's like,
so,
okay, I'll get a solo wave of farm. Like Raptors is up soon. I don't know if Nunu's going to get it. I could possibly go for Wolves or even Krugs, depending on where Nunu's pathing.
so one of the big things about a rotation here is you need to make sure that you're only staying for what you need. So right now, look at Kog'Maw's HP.
0, and he's backing.
Yeah. So all we want to do is clear away this wave. As soon as it's clear, we just run down like this, and we just go back to bot lane. It's a short shift of lane state, purely for the short-term advantage. But we don't want to stay in this lane state, because again, Veigar completely ruins us. He will one-shot us. And we can't really keep range against him too well.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like Kog'Maw's low, we should have just gone back.
But now, yeah. So now he stays.
Yeah, but I mean, he would have gone if you hadn't stayed. I think. I think he stayed because you stayed mid and cleared this wave off. So
Yeah.
he assumed that you were staying here longer. Again, we don't know. We don't have the
Can't
key
say
to
for
their
sure.
minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay. And then okay, so this is the same thing I was saying. I was like paranoid turret about like hitting
Yeah.
turret, and you're like, okay, it's okay to
Yeah.
hit turret here.
okay. So first big thing is we again heavy thumb. We allow this Melio to just walk past like in the most illegal sense possible. Like look at this. We only see him like super late, and now our traps don't snap in time. He should be dead there. So here, again, no minigun, just get the rockets out. Rockets, rockets, rockets. Your spacing here as well is really, really bad because
That's a pattern of mine.
now that you're not playing, what do you think is the correct thing to do in this scenario? This was when I was telling you to the tower.
Back off and hit walls.
No, definitely not. So what is your map state right now? Look at the map and what do you see?
Og's walking to bot, which is a neutral state.
Okay.
Yorick is... He shoved a wave. He could possibly be backing now. Nunu's farming blue.
Okay.
Brahm's with me.
Yeah. So where is safe for you on this map right now? Where is the safety?
Anywhere past those gates.
Is the safety here where you ran back to? Is this area going to make you safe? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to rethink?
No.
Okay. We definitely
My traps are down.
Okay.
My traps are down. Nunu, I have strong side top. I have a ward in Riverbush, and I have Scuttle on top side.
Okay.
So I have almost full vision. They can make a weird path through river, but I'd still most likely see it.
Okay. Let's have another think. Where do you think the safest place for you to path here is?
I have no clue otherwise.
Okay. So you've played mid, right?
Yeah.
Do you know about playing in zones for your jungler? No? Okay.
So, well, it depends. So are you trying to make, if you're trying to make a defensive play, you want to play on the side of the lane towards your jungler. If you're trying to make an aggressive play,
yeah,
you got to play on the opposite side of your jungler so you could push your laner towards your jungler.
Yeah, so your jungle is safety. Your jungler is your safety.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've distinguished that. Where do you think we could have gone instead of up here?
You want me to go like straight towards Nunu, like to the left side of turret?
So what we should have done here is, again, Milio throws his Q. Misses. Okay, so what we do now, we step away from it. Great. We can stay minigun for a second. Minigun, minigun, minigun. Bum, bum, bum. Aphelios comes up here. You minigun until you're out of range, and then you rocket for 1 or 2 more rockets. You probably don't get this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you run straight up here. You can ward this on the way to make sure J4 isn't there. You have flash if he is. But the important thing is that your Nunu is in this area. So you're running to the safety of your Nunu. And Braum will follow you as well. Like 100%.
Yeah, he's Braum.
Yeah. So here, like, we space ourselves away from our team. And then we use our flash. Flash wasn't needed here. Especially because we got Braum. But you see what I mean? We're getting...
Braum had hands.
We're getting really, really... It's as if we're getting... It's as if you've lost faith in yourself due to how other players have played, which is a massive mental barrier. Because like right now, like I said, like there's been plenty. I mean, we're only less than 20 minutes in. There's been so many kind of mistakes in this game that you just need to basically chalk all those mistakes up and go, okay, well, I'm not positioning properly on Jinx. I need to focus on positioning all day. I'm going to play solo queue however many hours a day you have. I'm only going to focus on positioning. I'm just positioning until it becomes so ingrained that then you can move on to the next big issue. And then go from there. Like the same way that we did previously when you were climbing through earlier ranks. Like there were times where your CS was absolutely piss poor. And we were like, right, all you're going to focus on now is CSing. And it got better. Obviously there's still errors here and there, but...
Yeah.
There will be. But
it's meh right now. It's not great. It's certainly not great.
So this is the thing. We're building up on your game knowledge and the issues that you're currently experiencing. And through doing that, we will basically get you to a higher rank. Like, again, we don't really care about the rank. Or, I mean, we shouldn't. Try and distance yourself emotionally from the rank.
Yeah.
And it becomes way easier.
Yeah.
Big breaks in between tilting games. Have a breather. Review the VODs. What did you do wrong? What could you have done different? Like, there'll be some times where you're reviewing VODs and you will not have the game knowledge to know what you needed to do better. Hence why I'm here. But what you could do is you can go, okay, well, I did this play. This play went bad. So what can I do next time in a similar situation? So then you have in your head, or again, sticky note, put it around your monitor. If in X game state or X position, I will try this instead of what I usually do. Now, don't get me wrong, there'll be times where you'll do that and it'll be even worse, but then you can cross it off. You can go, let's go, okay, well, what I'm currently doing is the best variant. Or then you learn something else and you're like, okay, I can incorporate that. So you're constantly building up on the knowledge that you already have. And that's kind of your main goal in solo queue. The issue is, as soon as you start kind of focusing on anything else that isn't in your control, it's gone. It's done for.
Yeah.
So here, it wouldn't have mattered because he flashed, but again, see, we walk up, we're in minigun. No. We want to be in rockets, 100%. Like, just in case he doesn't flash there. And I mean, to be honest, if that was me in that situation, I mean, I know this is... Like, I would have ghosted as well. But, again, he flashed. I mean, I think ghost to flash is fine. Again, it's one of them things that... If you ghost and they flash, it's like, okay, that's completely fine.
Yeah,
like, I don't mind.
Definitely lower cooldown.
Yeah. So again, here, I think I'd say, I think you were itching to ult in, though, or...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely don't. Don't use your ult just to stop a recall. It's not worth it. Invisible Nunu snowball, nice. And here, like, this is actually a really good call from Nunu. So, at this point, you have to somewhat go, okay, well, I am going to somewhat listen to my team. Like, we see Aphelios, Milio, and Jax on bot side. Like, just go for the Baron. If you have to stop it and turn, completely fine. You're looking down the barrel of a gun right now in a game that's potentially rough, and you clear this super quick. You've got a Nunu, you've got a Jinx. But again, same thing with your spacing. So right now, we know that the enemies are in this area. So what happens here is if they walk up through here, they'll end up coming around like this, and then they're on you. Like, this is really bad for you. So what you want to be doing is you want to be in this corner, in minigun. As soon as you see them, you want to space to here and just use rockets over the wall. And then if they decide to chase you, whatever. If not, you just let them finish it off without you. Throw a few W's, and that's about it. You still have to prioritize your safety. And standing in this area, like, obviously, I did tell you what to do in-game, but, I mean, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So, again, like, usage of minigun compared to rockets is so incredibly important on Jinx. It's, like, one of the most... Besides
it's her bread and butter.
Yeah, I mean, you do have trap mechanics that, like, traps are super interesting, by the way. There's a lot of really cool things. Like, for example, like putting traps in terrain will actually split them. So you'll get 3 smaller traps in certain areas, which can be fun.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so let's say, for example, you throw your Jinx, say you're here, and you throw your traps at the wall. You'll get 1 here, and then, like, 1 here, 1 here.
Oh, I've seen that.
So you'll split them. But you could do it in a lot of different scenarios too. It can be really good. So, yeah, you either want to use them to block an area off entirely.
That's actually, yeah, it's crazy choke point control when you actually use them right.
Yeah, like, they're really strong. They're very good ability. Again, you don't necessarily need to use them to their full extent to make Jinx work, but... Okay, so this was fine. We positioned first, but here... Again, we're just way too scared. Like, way too scared. Now, again, one of the big things... I mean, you tell me, what's one of the big things here? What's one of the big issues here?
1 traps, 2 lead thumb.
Yes, lead thumb, for sure. Like, right here, you are not getting anywhere near enough information. Like, back here is a completely barren wasteland. It doesn't mean shit. So, what you need to be doing is you need to move your camera down. So, the way I always say this is... let's say you want to paint a picture, you wouldn't literally have your face up to the canvas, would you? Like, because you're not going to see anything. No. You'd know the area that you want to work on, and then you go from there. Right here, we're basically saying that the area we want to work on covers all this area back here, all up here. This is not too bad, but, like, all back here is useless. And because you have so much range on your rockets as Jinx, you need to be unlocking your camera. It's incredibly important. It's different for, let's say, like a Sivir or something like that. But on Jinx, really, really important. And you play Twitch too, so... So, like, right here, for example, Like, they do get somewhat of a pick on Veigar. Veigar's ult is down. J4's EQ is down. You are free to just run at them and do damage right now, but we don't. Like, everything that they have that can stop you is down. Like, it's like, okay, Veigar cage, okay, that's gone. That's like 15 seconds. Okay, now we've got J4
I
EQ.
think it's closer to 10 anyway.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. Let me have a look.
I think at a very short cooldown, it's at like 6 or 7.
Is that a short joke?
Ha ha
Ha
ha
ha ha
ha ha.
ha. But no, it's actually on a 20-second cooldown.
At rank 1, no
Yeah,
ability
but and then it only
haste.
goes down to 14. Like, again, it's no
Plus ability.
haste, but like still, it's
Okay.
like you don't max E for a long time on Vega.
I always do a second.
I mean, but even then, like you're like super late, right? I mean, you're only level 11 right now. What level was he?
I think he's 12 or 13, no?
Okay, so he's 13. So right now, even maxing it second, it's on a 17-second cooldown. Like again, that's without taking his haste in consideration, but again, maybe
He has row up, but he has Sarats. Anyway,
yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah.
either way,
10 at lowest.
yeah,
So
low as
still a long
possible. I
cooldown.
always count it as 15. I mean, I've just done it like that, but it's up to you if you want to go exact. As long as you know roughly. So like there, and then J4 EQ, that's an 8-second cooldown. So now J4 is completely helpless. Vega is dead, and look how far back we are right now. Like, they have nothing that can stop you. Not a single thing. You've got a front line up here. You've got a Cogmod doing damage back here. You've even got a Maiden running them down. Like, you are in a position to just go nuts there, but we don't. Like, even if we... So let's say, for example, here, if we don't tunnel vision on the Aphelios, let's say we get an ult on the Veigar. Get a reset. Like, we don't really see the Veigar or the opportunity because we're not looking. So, let's say you get an ult on him. You get the reset. You kill every single person here. And this is the thing. With Jinx, it's like you're either playing wrong or you're hard carrying. Which, again, if you're... The majority of your games are on Jinx, which they are, and it's, in my opinion, your best champion, you end up in a position where if you're not seeing these kind of clutch moments, then you're not going to play the champion properly. Like, when you see Korean players playing Jinx, like, you see, okay,
They're balls to the wall or
yeah,
nothing.
they're just
They're
going
not
at
playing
it,
it.
going at it over and over and over, and then because of that, they know limitations so insanely well. It's crazy. Like, so with Jinx, it's like, okay, have they used all of their abilities that can shut me out? If the answer is yes, you just run at them. You just go nuts. Again, you're pretty safe to go mid. Veigar's dead. Everybody reset. You can just go and clear this quick. Again, you're just looking for 1250. Just so you can get your IE. So again, here... So this is where... So this was where we were so scared. Like, so scared. Like, Veigar is dead. Like, J4 could be there. But you are safe to just run down like that, for sure. Like, you run down there, you catch the wave, you maybe get Gromp. But you decided not to, which, again, fine. But now we start walking all the way around here. This is giga grief now. Like, it's like, we're like, okay, we're going to go there, whatever. We've got Yorick in this choke as well. So we know that they're not there. And we've got Veigar top. So right here, we have to just instantly give up this rotation and just come and fight. J4's ult is down. Like, we have so much damage. And look at this, see? So, another really, really big mistake here. Actually, you tell me. You tell me. It's better if I probe you on these things so that we grasp understanding. So what do you think is the big issue? It was in that sequence.
I missed rockets there for sure.
Yeah.
On J4.
Yeah. So again, whenever you're walking up to any kind of fight, rockets on always. Like, but yeah, you could have spaced him really easily. Plenty of rockets into him. And even there, see? Like, oh, he's griefing. Do you see how he just jumps under a tower after you? So, again, use Ghost as well. Ghost should have been on at this point. And then you can Ghost in and out of range, doing damage, and then play like that.
Okay.
Uh, so again, now we get to this point. Not too bad. This reset is fine. We've got IE. We're on a really big spike. So now, like so the reason why Riot changed the crit threshold is because previously ADCs needed 3 items on pretty
3
much
items.
every single ADC, whereas then you had
Yep.
like mages who were like 1 item and they're online. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't fair having a mage versus an AD bot lane. Or it was difficult to play anyway. So they changed that so that you can now have a 2-item spike, but you have to play for that 2-item spike. So here, like, again, this was just confidence. Like, really
Yep,
was just
I
confidence.
agree.
So Ghost
I
on,
agree.
do damage, again, like, this entire
I
time.
auto and I can flash out and live.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, like, we pop Ghost, like, at the end of the fight there. We're already mid-fight. Your Ghost should be on at the start because the fact it resets so much is what makes it so broken. You can have it up for
Yep.
such a considerable amount of time
Yeah.
that you just do
My
so.
ghost use is horrid. Like it's probably like I know we're going all through all these positioning mistakes, but I think my ghost use is probably the worst out of everything. Like I'm
I'd
playing
say
with
it's
one
big,
summoner
yeah. I'd
spell.
say it's definitely big.
I'm
Like,
playing with one summoner spell, and
yeah.
that's flash.
So the ghost is kind of unique also in the fact that level 1 to 10 it only extends by 4/5 seconds on a reset,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't really matter for early game. But as soon as you're level 10, it's 6 seconds. So level 10 is going to be your huge power spike for Ghost. Because as soon as you get level 10, it's 6 seconds. It's not 7 seconds until level 16.
Mm-hmm.
So a level 10, that's where you start really going nuts with Ghost. Pop it at the start of the fight. It's only 210 seconds, so it's 90 seconds shorter than Flash. So yeah.
That makes sense. I'm starting to hit IE spike at that point too, so I just
Yeah. I mean,
become
yeah, you've already got
really more
IE. You're
powerful.
like so incredibly strong. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that Jam got that Q, but again, like, we just
Nothing to do with him.
yeah, we're just
I felt
playing way too safe. So like, and don't get me wrong, this is a common thing that people get when they're pushing diamonds and masters, because you do start playing against significant. It's not as bad as it used to be. So I'd say each tier, that was a good ult by the way. I'd say each division, should I say, in diamond used to basically be an entire tier, which is
Mm-hmm.
not as applicable anymore because now they've just shoved all the diamond players in masters. But
Yep. True.
um, it's like this level D3 is basically like previous season like plat 2. So
Look
it's
at that, guys. I'm still plat.
nah.
I
I
never
mean,
hit diamond after all.
no. I
Hey.
mean, you've
Anyway.
definitely improved plenty, but again, it's right now we're forgetting the basics and we're forgetting the fundamentals because we're trying to overcomplicate the game and we're trying to make it way harder than it needs to be. Your Jinx, you need to survive lane, you need to get to your 2 items, you need to do damage. That's it. Like, you need to play safe, you need to get that 1 kill in a team fight, then you kill everyone. Like, again,
Let's
it can be.
let's
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. I mean, again, it can be boring, for sure, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, again, here, again, you don't really see him. You're coming in on minigun again. Even though you can't really hit him anyway, but it's important to rockets. But again, big shutdown. Again, rockets on. Like, you didn't need to use your ultimate here. And again, remember, your ultimate isn't max range here. So again, your W. So this point of your W is where you get max damage from your ultimate. So you don't want to be using ult unless it's like guaranteed to kill or if they're past your W range. So the way you kind of want to
Okay.
view it is like, so you kind of like throw your W out, get the slow on them, and then that makes the ult way easier to land. So using ult straight up here actually loses so much damage off it. It's crazy.
Okay. One thing this is something I've been talking about with a friend with who I respect as an AD carry. He's a master AD carry.
Okay.
I've discussed it with him as I use W too much as an auto reset. Like stuff like that. Like I have a 3 attack speed. Like when I throw that W out there when you were talking about like how long it goes.
Yeah, I mean
Um
it's
like
definitely it's a soft auto attack reset.
yeah, but like thing is like I'm literally losing damage by using a W there because I have a like a 3.0 attack speed. I have 55% crit, which means I'm going to crit every 1 and 2. And then
Okay.
also, which a crit is as much as a W.
So
And then also,
I think the
the other
W
thing
usage
is,
here is fine. I think in this position the W is completely fine. Like that's doesn't really matter too much. But the issue is here is the fact that we use this all when it isn't max range. When the more important thing is, as soon as he
yeah,
comes out of GA, you can still auto him. Just keep autoing and then just ult later. And then again, if
yeah,
this comes, it's whatever. Okay, then there was this fight. Again, let them kind of do damage, but Vega Cage is down now. So again, rockets. So, do you see another kind of issue with your rockets too? Is when you're spacing in team fights, you're using your rocket range and then you're running way too close to them. Like you can hit him with rockets from here. So you don't really need to ever go past this area until this guy is dead. So just stay here, do damage, and then just space back when you need to use that maximum rocket range. So like here, see, we just walk into him. Like the traps are a bit meh also, because again, they should have been blocking here. But again, we get this reset, and then unfortunately, we get the reset, and then we run back into the cage. If we reset here, we don't run into the cage, then we can potentially kill all of them. We've got ult coming up soon. Like, they could have all died. So again, like, you're playing a champion that is renowned for not needing to be in close range whatsoever, but then we are going in close range. And it's really screwing us. I'd say that's probably an even bigger thing than your ghost usage, because it's kind of champion fundamentals, which if you're looking to push for Masters Plus, which I know you are, then those fundamentals, they have to be down, yeah. Like, they're like I mean, it's like when I started playing lately, the only champion I play is J4. If J4 is banned, I play Xin Zhao because Xin Zhao is a similar playstyle and still easy. Like, and I just refined that playstyle only. And then once that playstyle is refined enough that I'm playing against 300, 400 LP players, then I will start kind of thinking of all the other things. Fundamentals are down. Now I'll start thinking of how can I make them make mistakes? How can I punish them or make it in a way that there's not really as much that they can do to me? How do I play team fights in the perfect way possible? Stuff like that. Again, this was very unlucky because it was super, super close. Very, very close. Again, we weren't really looking over it, but we did kill Milio. It's something. Again, Phantom Dancer is just the best attack speed item. Like, in my opinion. And then this fight, it's going so well, and then obviously we get caught. So this was kind of like the last fight. Again, what do you think of some of the things? So since we've gone over
first
these things a
thing,
lot,
I didn't ghost.
okay, perfect. So
Like it's a do or die. I know Yorick's doing bullshit on top side of the map. Doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
win this fight or lose game pretty much.
okay,
So I didn't ghost.
that's one.
2, honestly, I did not even see Vagar. So just map
Yeah,
team fight awareness, and that
lead
comes with
thumb.
lead thumb as well.
Yeah.
Which I had plenty of time to see him too.
So again, you only swap to rockets as
I
well.
think my rockets are fine here for the time being. For the time being, because
so
like
the issue is because you walk in, so you right clicked here, see. So because you right click them with minigun on, it puts you into the range of your minigun. Whereas you don't want that. You want the max range possible. So instead, you want the range of your rockets only. So you just always want to make sure before a fight starts, you've got those rockets on. Again, if you flash the Vega cage or you get a kill on J4 here, this game is done. You could actually carry it, even with Yorick being top.
Yeah, Yorick. I mean, if I win that team fight, Yorick definitely takes top inhib.
Yeah.
I take at least bot. But
yeah, you counter push mid, you get mid tier 2, you get bot tier 1 and 2.
And also it looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Of course. So, again, like, I didn't want to intend to scare you with the things that are going wrong, but
no, I would.
there is
okay, honestly, I would I prefer it that way because I feel like I live in fantasy land sometimes.
I mean, most people do. Don't worry. Like it's
but like that's the thing though. Like I need a slap in the face.
yeah.
Like
League a lot of the time is
yeah,
about humbling yourself and realizing the skill difference between you and the players that are actually really, really good. Now that
yep.
can be. It depends on the type of person you are. That can either be incredibly scary or massively motivating.
I
But
take it as a challenge.
yeah, exactly. So that's the right way to do it. So yeah, again, so multiple things. Your camera control massively really needs improving. That's like the big that's like fundamentals of the game, not even the champion. Like that's like okay, if you're not getting camera control down, then that is the top priority, top of the bucket list. Then you've got things with your champion mechanically. Again, things like your rocket usage, your W usage isn't that bad. Soft reset for W is how I use it most of the time. But your R ranges and stuff like that, huge. Rotations, making sure you're actually using your tempo to actually get some impact on the map, even if it's only a tiny bit. It's still impact. Like I know there's the big argument of but if the enemy ADC takes my 2 plates and I only take Herald, then that's going to be bad. But there is also the argument of it's kind of the human element of the game too, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
if your team sees you helping to get a Herald, that's probably going to motivate them a lot more than you getting like two than them getting 2 plates in bot.
Uh huh.
So it's also that factor, but again, it's also a way of you snowballing the game because if you then use that herald for you, you end up getting super red, bum bum bum. Either way, so yeah, I think those are the main things. Obviously, itemizational kind of issues. I can kind of see why you're going Gale Force now after looking at gameplay, and I do, like I said at the start of the session, I still stick to the fact I think that you're going Gale Force as a safety precaution instead of it's kind of like your
It's a crutch.
yeah, you've just chopped your hand off in an accident, right? And
Hmm.
you've just put a plaster over it, like a little band-aid, you know? Like,
Hmm.
and you're like, oh yeah, that'll stay, that'll go. Instead of actually getting the wound heat like seen to, you're just like, no, that
Hmm.
plaster, that's fine, that'll do. Like, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fallen off. What's the worst that can happen? Like, so that's kind of one of the biggest things that is kind of happening right now is you're not pushing yourself, and because you're not pushing yourself, you're only winning. Well, I mean, I can't say this definitely because we've only seen one game, but usually what I see with students when it has situations like this is one game can tell a lot because what this tells me is that the games that you're either winning them because the enemy is worse, which is always going to happen, or you're
That's
winning them
usually the
because
case. I could tell for
yeah,
sure.
or you're winning them
They're just
because
bad.
other people are carrying you, which
Also
again,
true.
not a bad thing. I mean, knowing how to get carried is somewhat a more important, valuable skill than actually carrying in some situations.
Yep.
But in general, where we're not pushing our champions to the limits, like even if you have to go in flex on normal games and just go full like limit test, do it. Because right now it's like we've forgotten the spice that makes Jinx work. And I do think that is because we've played a lot of different champions. But your champion is giga broken right now. You really, really look to use and abuse that. It's really, really big. So yeah, I think those are kind of the main things to focus on primarily. Did you have any questions or anything about anything we covered before we finish up, or
Um, I don't think so. I
no?
think that covers a lot, honestly.
Yeah,
That gives me a lot to work with.
yep.
Definitely needed it.
So yeah, so I'll end the recording there then.